If case loads continue to rise, hospitals could be forced into providing crisis standards of care. It would mark a first for our state. Today, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare Board passed a temporary rule to give a new advisory committee that option if needed. Ricardo Coronado reports.
State health officials say Idaho hospitals have never activated crisis standards of care. But on Friday, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare Board approved a temporary rule that would allow them to do so if the time comes.
If we get to a point where we truly think that we've exhausted all resources, we would convene the Crisis Standards of Care Activation Advisory Committee. We would review what the situation was, and that committee would make a recommendation.
Hospital leaders, the Idaho Office of Emergency Management, public health districts, and other health agencies make up this new advisory committee. The director of the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare says most of the state's hospitals are strained.
80% of our hospitals are operating in what we would call contingency circumstances. That's not crisis circumstances, that's contingency. And what that means is they're doing things that are not compromising care in any way, but are a little different than normal.
Some large hospitals say they're overwhelmed and experiencing staff shortages. And with cases rising, the board decided to act.
And during the pandemic, we see many of them that are out sick, either due to having COVID themselves or having been exposed to COVID, or in many cases, sometimes home for other reasons, such as child care or helping with online school or those sorts of things.
Health officials say they want to be ready, but activating crisis standards of care is a last resort because it could impact medical care for some patients.
My plea to all Idahoans to please wear a mask, space 6 feet apart, keep your hands clean, and stay home if you're sick. That's the very best way we have to avoid entering a crisis standard of care situation.
Ricardo Coronado, Idaho News 6.